Hey everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to the Monday edition of Bye Bye, weekly behind-the-scenes DM-only live stream, Crafting the Deep, in which I build, write, and prepare for our next session of Call from the Deep. If you're playing characters Gottwald, Max, Savra, or Toro, this stream is not meant for you, but for the rest of you, welcome. We stream our sessions live on YouTube, usually every Friday, but we are currently on a sort of pseudo-holiday break right now. Of course, I am still here in the office, joining all of you. But you can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. For our campaign, we use Roll20 for streaming. I use IBS Studio. I would be irritable bowel syndrome. What the hell? Yes, I'm wearing a Santa hat. You win, down next. I also wore the same hat when I did the Monday update for patrons, so they got the first taste of the Santa hat this year. Sorry, I forgot to actually mess with my webcam settings a little bit. Brightness up. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah. So this is a kind of half holiday week where we will not do our session on Friday, but I will still do the crafting streams. I'm still working this week, so I thought this is a good chance to get ahead of things, because goodness knows we need to start getting ahead and really planning ahead for, especially for chapter 2. But I think this week I mainly want to talk about Berranzo Mine, because that's always the next place the players are going to. And I feel like the more I think about this place, the more I need to change everything that's inside of it. We talked a little bit I think it was last week, about actually filling the mine crevice, croquet with water, because I think it would make more sense if they were outfitting an armada, an army full of folks that are going to get on a ship and go attack the Sword Coast, and maybe have some kind of cool magical items and enchantments that allowed these ships to even go underwater or go super fast or whatever other bullshit things they've got, that perhaps they actually outfitted these things inside this cave, and this cave was basically their base of operations. So this was kind of the operations for the Mind Flayer as his lair, who is in charge of this assault on land, and then the Wreck of the Golden Crown was the lair of the Sahuagin. And this will have the players still be a little bit behind everything. They've just heard that the notice is going out in terms of the attack is hitting, and then they will actually find the all of the army has left the facility, the building. This is essentially like a villain lair where most of the villains are gone, so it's a little bit more exploratory, but it's also a good chance to maybe fight the boss. We're going to have to talk about the boss because it is a CR10. Oh, thank you, Demnix. Merry Christmas, you glorious man. Merry Christmas to you as well, down there in glorious Australia. Thank you so much for the super chat. This is a CR10 custom Mind Flayer from this adventure, and I did decide to level the players up to 5 before doing it, but we're still gonna have to look at it, because I don't know, man. It seems really, really tough. But the big thing I want to change here is, like I said, instead of putting a bunch of rust monsters at the bottom, I mean, it actually would work pretty well, but I don't know. I think it's cooler to keep with the water theme, and just the fact that this is all water down here instead of these creatures. So I think I'm going to go ahead and nuke them and just fill this part with water. The thing I don't like about this dungeon, I like the design of it, I think, in general, but there's no point to like the big cool area. Like they step out, down these big stone stairs, you enter in this vast cavern. It looks really cool. You've got these, bridges across this giant area, but like there's just nothing to explore or do out here. Everything in the dungeon is just these little couple rooms out here, so it's almost just, I don't know, pointless, I guess. So I don't know if it's up to me to put some stuff in there that's worthwhile and a reason to explore. Maybe if I put ominous water in the area, the players will think that there's something good in there. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I feel like I liked this dungeon more before now, and now I'm less enthusiastic about it. I do have some water. There's a couple different water resources. I usually go to Gabriel Picard on the Roll20 Marketplace. This one is called Vile Tiles Water Mapper, which allows you to create zones of water, I guess. If I can try to match that up. I don't know how deep I want the water to be. Maybe just this lower part is actually water. Would that be too stupid looking? And then we can have, or maybe I can make it go higher up to here. So it'd be kind of deeper. I don't know. This is going to be a lot of work in Roll20 to do this, so I don't even know if it's really worth doing in particular, but I just didn't like, I don't know. It seemed, I guess, from a video game standpoint, I always picture like a big empty room. Oh, that means there's gonna be a battle here, right? Like you don't have just big empty rooms for no reason. You really don't. So here I just feel like, well, what's gonna happen here? And the fact that nothing's gonna happen here feels a little disappointing. So maybe I need to put something here. Maybe it needs to be like a giant monster or something. And maybe we use that instead of the Mind Flayer. Maybe the Mind Flayer summons, you know, a giant monster, and then he does a cool villainous like I'm out of here fucking thing, right? Like that's typical villainy shenanigans. That could be a thing that could happen. Trying to put all my water map in place. How stupid is this looking so far? It's kind. I realize it's really dark too. I think this is the map art that's just kind of really dark, and then unfortunately the water art is also kind of dark. So it's gonna be a little difficult to tell what the hell I'm doing here. Let's see, that looks like, yeah, see, unfortunately the sandy part doesn't really, it doesn't blend. It's a bummer. We have something that's maybe a little less. Start throwing pieces out of there. Probably one of my least favorite things to do during a crafting stream, because there's a lot of me mumbling to myself while putting down art assets. Just trying to make it work. Actually, that's, I guess if I just replace, yeah, there we go. If I don't worry about the existing, that piece looks really good right there. I managed to kill a player tonight. Oh no, please don't. Please don't kill your players. Player characters are fair game. People generally frowned on killing players. It's just got a little bit. I wonder if we can. Oh shit. Oh, I hit the delete key. I meant to hit the alt key. Whoops. And it all went away. I want that one. What about that one? Alright, where's my alt key? There you go. How terrible does that look? It's a little terrible. It could be better. It's a little janky, but I don't know. Maybe the players will forgive me. Maybe they'll forgive me. Like, how dare? This looks like shit. Oh, there's the big Papa version. Oh, I wanted that side. That only works if it's more of a corner piece, though. None of these are that extreme of a corner. Shit. Delete, delete. I think that's the same problem with this one. Actually, this one, the corner is facing the other way, so that could work. Okay, maybe I don't want it that high, because that looks like you're stepping right out into water. And I do want there kind of to be like a little bit of a pit, maybe? Because this doesn't look like there's a 30-foot drop between these two spaces. Although it blends with the higher more than the lower one. No, I think I like it. I think I like it down there. That means, what does that mean? These pieces, wow, those two pieces almost cover it right there. Oh my gosh, I've got too many assets. All right, you go. All right, so what do we want to cover? We want it to just cover this thing. So this one would actually not even be that far out. Nope. Grab it. I'll put these all on the map layer eventually too. That kind of sticks out too far right there. Oh my gosh, this is a pain in the ass. I don't like it. Why did I start this project? I have regrets. I have several regrets. Okay, maybe if I love it, I should put it on the map layer now. If I'm making this much work, I've got to do... Oh no, that one fits a lot better, the color scheme. Yeah. Why am I not using that one? Man, can I just copy and paste that one a bunch of times? I guess I'd have to constantly turn it though. Something like that for the edge. Get out of here, small piece. I don't like you anymore. Water campaign needs more water, damn it. We only got one note. It just says more water. Give them more water then. Okay, okay. This is tedious as shit doing it this way, but... It's a tiny, tiny piece, but then I can kind of... Whoops. Kind of turn it how I want it. There we go, okay. Keep turning. He never left the office. He just kept putting Roll20 art assets on the map, mumbling to himself, snickering occasionally. You know what? I don't think that's looking too terrible though. I don't know. It's not my worst. That little piece blends really well with this rock. There is supposed to be something down here. There's supposed to be a forge, but I think we're just gonna ignore that. God damn it! I knew no matter what campaign I was gonna choose, I was gonna end up changing so much of it. But we keep the basic structure, right? That's the idea. It's a nautical campaign with mind flayers. That part's still the same. All right, this part gets tricky because I don't know how to do that actually. I might need to get another piece there. Oh, we could just squeeze it right there. Okay. And then what if we put this one in front and then tuck that guy like snow. Okay. I'll delete this one because fuck that piece. Shit, that's not gonna work. We're gonna shrink this guy a little bit. Shrink that guy a little bit. God, how many fucking copies of these things do I have? What am I doing? Okay. Working on a map piece by piece. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of rocks. They're going to see it for like 2 seconds too. And be like, okay, and move on. Like, I'm spending way too much work on this. Nobody's going to care. Y'all are going to care. And care so much. Shit, this side looks like shit now. We need to... It's falling apart. It's all falling apart. Okay, okay. Keep it together. Keep it together. Nope, don't grab that one. Nope, nope, nope. Yep. Let's make some copies. Almost, I'm locked in now. I can't stop. If I stop, I'll never finish this. We gotta cover that ladder, boys. Cover the ladder. That ladder never existed. Ladder never existed. Okay. Okay, ladder's gone. It's gone. You need to go to the back. Go to the back, son. There you go. There you go. New guys, go to the back. That's your lot in life. That's where you gotta go. Can't believe I'm doing this on a stream. I told myself, you know what? The only thing you shouldn't do on a stream is make really tedious fucking map adjustments, because nobody wants to watch that. Keep going. But I can't stop. Okay. Getting faster now. Can feel my skill bar improving. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Angle it a little bit. Can't really get it to turn right there very well. Oh no, we're gonna have to go into the bridge. Fuck, we can't go into the bridge. No. No. It's okay, we'll figure it out. Figure it out, he said while sobbing in the shower. Damn it. Shit. All the hell. The real-time skill leveling. Just watch that bar. Oh, the bridge. The bridge of doom. Where once I loved you, bridge, now you will be my downfall. I shall not pass. This is all we're doing for this crafting stream. So strap the fuck in. Oh, God. This is weird. Like, I usually want to paint the lines first and then fill in, and I am not doing that. Not doing that. We're doing the lines last, because that's the tricky part. Oh, oh, oh. What if I can sing Christmas songs? Those are public domain, right? Except for the, like, Mariah Carey one. Santa Claus is coming down. Santa Claus is coming. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gotta find out why this bridge isn't nice. Oh, what am I doing? I can't do it there. Shit. The Claus is coming. Ooh, that looks so good. Oh, stupid bridge. But Eric, you still have to put it on the map layer. Shut up. Not prepared for that right now. to town. God, this fucking art was like made for this island. It looks so freaking good there. I can't stand it. Sees you when you're sleeping. Look at that. Look at that, though. Right? Like, I'm telling you. Santa Claus is coming to town. I thank you, Rodrigo. I'm pretty fucking satisfied, I gotta say. This one little edge is gonna drive me bananas, but I can't make it. Do I dare start shrinking? Oh, that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery. Oh my God. I can't in good conscience. If we tuck it, let's tuck it. Let's tuck it. Oh, thread the needle. Wow. We gotta fill in this space right here. It's a stupid hole. Why did I put a stupid hole here? Did I fill the hole? Shit. Move it. Okay. Shh. Nobody move. Nobody move. Don't even breathe. All right, there's a spot right there. We gotta fill that spot. Oh, fuck. We gotta fill it. We're gonna have to go shrinkage. We're gonna have to shrink. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It's beautiful. Let's go. The problem is you're not going to see it for 3 weeks, and we're all going to forget how much time I spent on this. That's the bummer. If this were this Friday, it'd be like, oh man, look at that fucking, look at that, look at that cave water. It looks so good. I'll be like, yes, thank you. But none of us are going to remember. All going to be going on a holiday. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm really, truly 100% proud of this one. I just realized I'm blocking this. This is not supposed to be. Oh boy. It's not supposed to be there. Okay. Shit. Don't think. Okay, we could do that. And then there's one teensy. Oh, I can't have that. It's like spewing over. No, I can't have that. No, don't move that one. Shit. Don't fuck up. Don't give them the ball back. It's the fucking fourth quarter. They're going to come back. No. Shit. By the way, how's the Eagles game going? Because we want the Eagles to lose. Would be good since the Cowboys just laid a fucking egg the other day. God damn it. It's really hard to grab one. No, I'm picking them all up. I cannot grab one piece anymore. All right. That one. Shit. My house of cards is coming apart like some kind of... Okay, you've got to move, man. What the fuck happened here? All right, you know what? New direction. It's our map. We're going to make... No, can't do that because that puts... Damn it. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to flip it. We're going to turn it. Yep. And then we're going to... Fucking Bob Ross of Roll20 right now. Okay. Okay. And there we have our happy little cave lake. Ah. Fuck you, Sylvan. For the Mista spot, not for the Niners. Niners are a great team. Ah, all right. We have our fucking. All right, so now what we need to do is just everything here on the token layer, right? Because there's nothing else on the token layer, so we're just gonna do a big old box. We're gonna right click, and we're gonna move to the map. Okay, don't panic. Don't panic. We're going to select the map. We're going to right click the map, and we're going to send it back. Okay, there we go. There we go. Boom. Boom. I've converted. I have roll 20'd. I've mapped. Oh my gosh. That took entirely too long. All right, so anyway, Berranzo mine. Now we have a little cave lake here, which I think is a lot more interesting. Now I gotta fucking do something with it, because I spent way too long on it, so I gotta make them do something. I'm not opposed to the idea of the Mind Flayer summoning some kind of creature instead of having to fight this Mind Flayer. Even though the player's just hit level 5, I still think that even a normal Mind Flayer is probably punching above their... If the Mind Flayer was literally all alone, and maybe everybody rolled initiative separately, maybe they'd have a chance. But just, I mean, the Mind Blast alone is so nasty. All the keys for this dungeon is now underwater. Took 20 minutes. Don't fucking remind me of that. No, not that we're keeping track of the time. So, as written, there is a whole kind of skill challenge to even get in here. I don't know if I'm going to bother with that or not. I might do like a minor one. Like maybe they have to like spend some athletics checks or something to like get through, and maybe they can incur some hit dice penalties or something. I don't necessarily want to go too far into it. I don't know. The mind collapse thing doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, and clearly this Mind Flayer's got to be able to get out of here at some point. I guess he could maybe use the water entrance. He's got a survival mantle he can use or something, and presumably all the Mind Flayers have ways of getting through the water. Otherwise, the main cavern has a swarm of cranium rats, which, this is weird. The designer just used a swarm of cranium rats as a pseudo mini boss fight in the Nautiloid crash ship, where I thought it was actually a pretty fun mini boss fight for my party, and then just throws it in here as kind of the first like minion you come across. And it's not meant to be a fight. They're meant to go and warn the Mind Flayer boss in here. But since the players just already fought this creature, even though it was fun, I feel like I should just try to use something else. So what is another... I mean, obviously just another thrall, I guess, that the Mind Flayer could be using, unless there's some other kind of creature that are associated with Mind Flayers. We already saw an Intellect Devourer once. I guess I could use that as a little watchdog thing. Those things can be kind of scary too, because they have that weird, like, brain stunning ability where they just fucking lobotomize you. So that's kind of weird. We don't have to put a creature here either. We could make it some kind of alarm system, maybe like a tripwire that the party can notice and have to avoid rather than use a creature. That might be a little more interesting. The crevice, we're of course changing. It's no longer going to be a 60 feet deep pit full of rust monsters. It is now I guess it's now only 30 feet until the water, right? So I did make it to where they've got the high end here, and there's a 30-foot drop, which is very large. That is more than a 2-story house drop. That's scary if you're on the edge of that. And it doesn't look like a 30-foot drop on this map, but it is pretty far down there. And then that's where the water is, and then the water can be, deep, deep, deep. The idea is the water now is like an underwater cave that just keeps going until like you exit out of the bottom of the island and can basically get in and out of the island. Oh man, a roper above the water would be pretty fucking cool. Like as soon as they come out, it starts reeling them in and then like drags them over the water. just for funsies, and maybe there's like quippers in the water. Doesn't really make sense. The Roper would, like dungeon ecology wise, if there's still a Mind Flayer's layer, he just lets like the Roper hang out here, or does the Roper like work for the Mind Flayer? How intelligent are Ropers? Can they be bargained with, or are they like just monsters? Gonna find out who's intelligent or not. Roper has an intelligence of a 7. Okay, they don't speak, but they're not. They are. I mean, 7 intelligence for a non-speaking creature. Definitely sentient, I guess. 16 wisdom for the Roper. Roper has seen some stuff, knows all about how to do things. What a fun creature, though. AC 20, 93 hit points, makes 4 attacks. One of the few creatures that by itself can actually be pretty scary and awesome, especially if the environment can take advantage of that. And in this case, just reeling somebody, like, gosh, what other better creature would there be to use in this situation? Suddenly you reel them up, and then you can drop them like 30 feet into the water. It might be magnificent. What's the range on that thing? Tendril, 50 feet. And it can reel it 25 feet straight towards it. I don't know, man. This sounds fun. Ho, ho, ho. Guess what? The middle of the lake is about 40 feet from the stairs. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a Roper. Well, the debate might be over. I'm liking that monster idea a lot. But do you spring it on them as soon as they get in here? Or do we somehow... Early man worship Ropers. Do we somehow force them back in here, perhaps? In other words, how much like DM magic do I want to use to show off this big bad Mind Flayer? They might even think he's like the big boss of the campaign that I'm showing off kind of early. You know, he's kind of a lieutenant of it. When was the last time we fought a Roper? I know we fought them before. But it's been a while. I don't remember specifically. I don't think we fought one in Rime. I don't think we fought one in Chris's high-level campaign. I don't remember if we fought one in Tomb. Yeah, it's not working. That could be a fun idea. I'm going to put that right there to table that. I know, 20 AC is... 20 AC and 100 hit points, already you're looking at a boss monster for that challenge rating. Like, that's no joke. And also, pretty good defensive saves, I think. Actually, Dex is not good. Now I think about it. Con is really good. Wisdom is really good. And then Dex are the 3 main defensive saves you're looking at. So technically you can like fireball this guy all day long. Fairy fire, all that kind of thing. But yeah, and I guess no resistances. But also the false appearance thing, he's got the mimic ability where like no matter how good your perception is, like there is no perception check. Like literally it looks like the same as any other thing. I would argue. Until it attacks, so it's getting that surprise round initially. And a surprise round with 4 attacks is kind of delicious. You adapted the tentacles and Rhyme Brain Fight, I believe. Oh, okay. Very well could have. I did recall liking that boss fight a lot. Okay, well, I'm really liking the idea of using a Roper here. I was thinking about like a Hydra in the water. Something like the Mind Flayer summons up. Maybe some kind of Neothid, but we also fought kind of... Not really fought that creature, but that token, I guess they've seen before. Let's see. There's a Grick down here in this rubble heap, but there's nothing going on here. No reason to use this Grick, so I don't know if we should bother with that at all. Storeroom. In B3, the area to this door is locked. The Liosk has the key. So the only door out of here or anywhere is a locked door. So already you're looking at a bit of a problem because this is like the main place they have to go. Characters can open the door with a DC 16 strength check, which most likely Gottwald can do, or a successful DC 18 dex check using thieves' tools. And strength check alerts creatures. We does not stop the swarm of cranium rats. See, I'm thinking about just getting rid of the cranium rats and we can replace that with maybe the roper or some kind of creature like that. So let's move the rats out of here for now. Or if anything, like I said, have some kind of like tripwire alarm system that would, and not like a little tripwire, but like a glyph or something that, I don't know, the Mind Flayer be capable of casting. Do they normally have spells they can cast, or is it all just psychic shit? And let's dominate monster planeship. So I guess it's more like they would use thralls versus casting advanced magic stuff. He is supposed to be like the, what, alchemist? The biological mastermind. He's the biological mastermind. So why aren't we seeing like mutants instead of just, I think what we're only seeing is like commoners with claws, but couldn't we go a little crazier with some of the stat blocks here? If he's supposed to be like experimenting on people, like real like fucking horror style. It's cool art. And couldn't we see more along the lines of, not even a flesh golem, but what am I trying to think of? Some kind of aberrations that, I don't know, use different, like Umber Hulk stat block or something where the humans have clearly been altered. So maybe I can look at doing that as well. I would really prefer the players not actually fight him, because unless I don't let him use his Mind Blast. Like, Mind Blast just scares the shit out of me. The fact that you can very easily shut the entire party down, and then you can, what, do the tentacle? Actually, not even that. One incapacitated humanoid grab. Oh yeah, you do have to do tentacles. You'd have to do Mind Blast, then tentacles, and you can start extracting brains. It's kind of crazy. Added a lot more thralls in this dungeon with lots of abnormalities. Yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking of. Brain Golem, is that a thing? Yeah, we did use... there is the, what is it, Brain in a Jar combined with... was it Animated Armor or Helmed Horror? I think it ended up being a Helmed Horror. That we used towards the end of Rime. That was a pretty fun combination, but I'm probably looking at more... I don't know, like the basic creatures here, they're literally just commoners, but with the flincing claws attached to them. Let's see, there's a B4 is the vault. Circular iron door on 5 feet across hangs a jar. Beyond this is a vault which has been plundered. Saw some stuff in there though. And then there's a secret safe in B5, which has a lot of treasure in there. But you have to have a perception of 20 or higher to notice it. Then you have to make a DC 20 investigation check to actually open it. And then it's also trapped. I don't see any way of the players finding this. And it's trapped with a chance to cut off whatever body part that you put in there, like a guillotine, like Tomb of Horror style. And then the chest is locked and the key is lost. Like, good lord. And if opened with a strength check, the potions all shatter. Like, the TM really does not want you to have this treasure. Why put treasure in there if it's that hard to get? It's not even that great either. You don't have, like, legendary treasure. It's a +1 dagger and a drift globe. Like, that is the most bullshit, generic, low-level dungeon treasure. What is the point? It'd be more interesting to make this vault visible, but make it so that the villains were never able to open it. It's like this super sexy safe. You know, only too bad you don't have the knock key, the spell or something. But maybe they've got some kind of special, I don't know, spell idea, something at their disposal. And then it's more of an exploration puzzle, but I could still include the trap also if they do manage to break it open. Or maybe even just by jacking with it, you end up incurring the trap as well. And obviously, like, fixing the loot here because they already have a drift globe. They kind of already have a lot of potions, although that's never a bad thing to throw at them. I guess scrolls would be more interesting for them at this point. And then in terms of weapons, or just magic items in general, Gottwald, I believe, is the only one without a magic weapon now, because Max got a +1 bow, Twirl's got the Fisher hook, and just spells, namely Sabra uses spells. So yeah, Gottwald, I guess, could use a magic weapon. Because I feel like at 5th level, you should start being like, all right, I've probably got a +1 weapon or should be close to getting one. So if there's an opportunity for him to get a +1 weapon, this would probably be the best place to do it. I feel like everybody's got a pretty good amount of armor now and various survival gears. So weapon's probably the best thing to look at. And it's just +1 dagger, so we can just put a +1 of what. The problem is Gottwald uses fists, so I don't know. That's tricky. I think I messaged him once before about what kind of weapons he was interested in. And there was a kind of weapon where if he had to go like lethal, he would. I think he talked about using like an anchor on a chain or something. Although that kind of thing, I don't think you would find in a vault. That's not like a standard weapon. That's something you would find like a special case scenario, like a villain using that. Which maybe I can do that in Act 2. Have a villain wielding this very cool, unique weapon that Gottwald can then loot himself. But yeah, I think we want to change this to make it more open and noticeable. But then the party still has to deal with it like some kind of a puzzle system. Or the other thing is I could make it a literal puzzle. It's like some kind of cryptic thing on there that they have to figure out. I haven't done a puzzle yet, I guess, so. But I don't want to leave it just as a... More than likely they would miss it if I leave it as a DC 20 passive perception check. Foreman's office, which is where Thiliosk is now. And he has 2. He has human commoner thralls equipped with flensing claws. Which the claws are pretty good. They deal... let's see. For a medium creature, they deal 1d10 damage. The creature adds its proficiency bonus and strength modifier to any attack roll made with the claws. Tiny and gargantuan creatures can't be outfitted with flensing claws. But unfortunately, as we know, commoner stat block is... I mean, it kind of makes sense that... God, 1d8, yeah, it's bad. So I think what I did before, it looks like what I did is I used the bandit stat block at the very least. So instead of having 4 hit point nothings... this is actually the red brand art, I think, from the new Fandover. I created this stat block, which is the basic bandit stat block. So, you know, CR1-8, but they actually got a slightly updated melee attack with the flensing claws being 1d10 plus 1. And maybe that's interesting if you just have a bunch of these thralls attack the party versus a lot of powerful ones. Mind Flayer on its own is a 1500 over deadly encounter. Yeah. Did you calculate it as a CR10, Sylvan? Because that's what this thing freaking is. Normal Mind Flayer is not even as strong as this guy. This guy's literally like a boss version of a Mind Flayer. So I don't think the party is meant to fight him even at level 5. But it's a fun opportunity to see him, get confirmation. It's like, oh shit, it's Mind Flayers, which is, you know, what they've been thinking and ever since they saw the Nautiloid and used all the meta knowledge and, you know, the teases about brains and psychic attacks and all this crap. Like, it's like, yeah, it's fucking Mind Flayer. So this is the confirmation for that. But I'd like to do the villain thing of like, oh, well, I'll just summon, you know, some kind of crazy minion thing. I mean, it's a very common trope, but I think it works well. It works well in video games. It works well in RPGs and stories. Like, you see the villain, but you don't get to quite mess with it. Unfortunately, in D&D, it's really hard to even do the thing where like you throw down with the party with a fight that they're not meant to win. I guess you could do some kind of like cutscene where maybe he steps up and mind blasts like everyone. Which I could even do that. I could roll it all and have it affect them, but just instead of following up or continuing the fight or even rolling initiative, he can then escape because, you know, why even risk it for a chocolate biscuit. That's what my fucking daughter says. Drives me crazy. Why risk getting, even injured for a second, even though he's stronger? He doesn't necessarily know how strong these adventurers are or anything. And by now he's kind of just here just because this is his place. Like the whole army's already left. So it's not like he needs to necessarily protect his lair. This is kind of just this is like his office. Like he's not really protecting his home. He's protecting his office. And I don't know. I just don't think he would fight, even deign himself to battle to protect his workspace, versus he would just go home and regroup. Now, that being said, it might be cool to summon some kind of creature or do something exciting when to keep the players busy and still make it a cool like cinematic end, versus some kind of anticlimactic, like, oh, we just got mind blast and he disappeared and he's gone. So I think you'd want to, which is why the idea of maybe like summoning a Hydra out of the water or some kind of, because they have like these, with the Elder Brain connected to the Kraken, they kind of have dominion over all these like water-based creatures. I don't know if Hydra is necessarily water-based. I'm trying to think of what other impressive sea monster type creature I can have rising out of the cave. Or I could do something custom. I could be like a giant Grick. Like literally just a giant token of that or something. Wish I had my own crafting stream for my campaign. It's been fun for me to be able to just kind of talk about everything and bounce ideas off, man. It's been fantastic. I definitely enjoy having these. I have demonstrably become a better DM since I started doing crafting streams. Since doing, was it the start of Tomb? I think I started doing one a week, and then with, I think Rhyme, we started doing 2 a week, I believe. And the Mind Flayers have a built-in ability to fucking plane shift. They have an instant escape mode. Like, talk about a perfect DM creature. Like, oh, and I decide to just disappear. You and up to 8 willing creatures who link hands in a circle. Wow, we're not going to do that. Literally shift to a different plane of existence. That's insane. And you can just do that once per day, just blink in and out. Cool. Yeah, so I'm liking this concept of not even fighting this creature yet, but maybe he will hit him with something nasty. I mean, what does a Mind Blast even look like? It's pretty bad. Oh, that is not calculated correctly, actually. Well, 22 average damage, you can see it right there. If they fail to save. If they make the save, they take nothing, but if they fail, they take all that damage, and then they are stunned, which is real bad news. Yeah, I just rolled it for 25 damage, or stunned for a minute, and you have to keep repeating the save. So it's very possible you could just be locked down forever. Oops. I think that one's already hidden, but I'm not sure. Now, it does get awkward if he's trying to escape. And then, I guess, because I'd have to summon the creature back here. Oh man, what if the roper doesn't appear until the monster does? That'd be kind of crazy. I don't know what creature to use. I'll have to look at that, but I'm liking the idea of having him do that. Having this guy, when he gets alerted to the enemy, when the player's approaching, maybe even he'll set off. I could have some kind of tripwire system, a security system, because it does make sense he would have something, even though they're very much relying on the fact that like nobody knows they're here or anything. But Mind Flayers are anything but stupid. So maybe he's got some kind of security system. I could even have some kind of damaging thing here. Really take advantage of more of the trap element of this area and like more environmental. I was going to say, whereas the last area was a lot of fights, but the last area was also completely underwater, which is also one big environmental hazard in a way. So maybe like some glyphs or something, but enough to like alert the fact that there are people coming through that have triggered these defenses and then he can already get organized with all his stuff. Maybe start sending out his thralls, which I do like the fact that they're like all former Fiskerbach people who have now been mutated and turned into thralls, completely obeying the whim of the Mind Flayer. And in fact, I could even have them, like the party is like here, starting to explore, and they've set off the thing, and then we can have those people start rushing through this door, with their claws out, ready to attack. And then maybe the next round, you have the Mind Flayer come. I don't know. Is that? That really turns into like one big encounter versus kind of a bit of a room dungeon crawl. But I think, does that make any sense that this guy would just kind of sit in the back? It feels better if we kind of do everything out here now that I made all this room to make the water. I want to take advantage of this as my like big marquee battle here. And I think it's a really interesting, with the big height elevation, I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I think we could make this work. I wonder if these things now, because I've made the water up here, these ladders, like this bridge goes down 30 feet and then goes up 30 feet. Maybe it does. So that this is kind of level with this. Or maybe it's not level. Maybe it's higher and this is lower. Y'all, this water looks fucking good. It looks great, I gotta say. Fine job all around. I gotta get rid of this too. I don't like the opening here is gonna probably cause more problems, I assume. We're just gonna draw a line around it. Maybe I can find a wall at some point. There we go. No sense worrying about that. Maybe a bit of a ramp. Or maybe the Roper's the creature. Maybe the Roper is also a thrall of the Mind Flayer. So that when he comes out swinging and he stuns everybody and he disappears, then I trigger the Roper attacking from the water. And it's hanging above the ceiling. Does it talk about how high the ceiling is? Walls and ceiling of the mine are stone. Their natural areas be to be next someone mentioned. Otherwise, ceilings are a height of 20 feet. All right, well, clearly this has got to be otherwise, right? Cavern, splendid walkway. Does it mention how high the ceilings are there? I'm not sure it does. It's definitely more than 20 feet, I would think. I mean, 20 feet's still fine. Because if it's 20 feet higher than this cavern, that means it's a 50-foot drop into the water. That is terrifying. That is really fucking high. That could be a blast. In fact, if we combine that with like some just regular monsters in the water, like just a swarm of quippers or two, that could be a pretty memorable battle. God bless you, James, for fucking mentioning a Roper. That could be a really fun battle. If we just put some kind of the equivalent of like the classic like crocodile infested waters or something. Or I said alligator because I'm American. And just have like dangerous shit in the water while the Roper is going to be like pulling people and dragging them. Fuck, that could be cool. What kind of hit points could it look like for this thing? Like that is the makings of a memorable fight. If we can pull it off with the right pacing, and that's what I'm considering. I'm considering maybe we don't even use the office's space, like right when the party thinks they're going to maybe go in there, but they've already triggered the alarm system. So maybe the office doors open and outpour, a bunch of those mutated Fiskerbach people and that's like round one is that fight, which the party should be able to probably win pretty handily. Although I am tempted to make slightly different, for especially now that I know the player is going to be level 5, we can make different versions of those mutated creatures. I'll have to look up what some other interesting stat block ideas are. I remember when I did the Dazan Lost Spire of Nethril thing in Rhyme, where I was also looking up just a bunch of different stat blocks I can use that would represent like mutated people, essentially. I wouldn't go that far with it. I'm not looking at like Eldritch Horror. I'm looking at like people who have been like cyborged almost is what I figured this. Well, I guess it's biological. I don't know. He's implanting claws in their body, so it's like Weapon X program shit. So yeah, I'll have to look and see what I can do with that. So like round 1 and then round 2, like the Mind Flayer himself appears. I'll have to think about whether I want him to actually get off his Mind Blast or not. That could be really tricky. And then maybe he says some kind of cool villain thing, and that's when he triggers the Roper fight, and then the Roper starts grabbing people and he disappears. And then we've got the real like boss fight has begun. And after that, the falling action is them going into the offices, and then they can, loot whatever remains. But obviously he'll have bugged out with most of his stuff already, I think. 99 hit points. That sounds good to me. Erase everything else and use the water, right? That was how it was gonna go down. If we're gonna spend that long making the damn water, we're using the damn water. There we go. 99 hit points. There's a Deep Scion, but ironically, we will actually be using the Deep Scion stat block. In fact, I actually used it already when Burn transformed. If you recall that, instead of using a Mind Flayer stat block, which even though he's kind of turning into a Mind Flayer with Ceramorphosis, I essentially used the Deep Scion stat block, which is a good one. It's very solid, but I don't know if I'll necessarily use that again for the Thralls. In fact, I'm looking for something that's probably like CR1 at the max. I'd like to use a bunch of minions versus a couple like stronger lieutenants. So, and it may just be a case of doing what I already did, which is take like the bandit as a base stat block and then like give it some, extra features or abilities or something. Maybe use like, I don't know, take maybe like an archer stat block and then give it some kind of cyborg range attack it can use, whatever the fuck that would look like. I don't know, or it may not be cyborg, but just to create like one other variation, I think would probably be fine. And then they can come in here and like loot all these rooms and just kind of see like, okay. And then, because there's not really much treasure in here that I can see. And then the main thing they'll learn here is like, okay, well, this is, which I'll have to convey that somehow, but this is where they were taking a lot of people to. They were creating thralls. They were experimenting on people, basically creating soldiers, which I guess that'll be part of the notes and information they'll have to find, is that these were soldiers, thralls, who were created to join this army as part of an assault on the Sword Coast, and then also tease the fact that maybe they got some enchanted ships and had a whole bunch of shit lined up that they were able to do in this water area. Water themed drag campaign, yeah, and dragging them into the water. Right? It's appropriate. We needed the water here. It fits so well. I'm really excited about this now. This was cool. I literally went into this session with Berranzo Mind thinking, I don't even know if I want to use this area now. But now I'm like fucking excited about it. I think this is going to be cool as hell. And honestly, it's probably going to be like one major encounter, but I think it's going to be a pretty cool one, which maybe that's why we'll start off with some more exploratory stuff. Maybe I will roll with the skill challenge here. And then like some kind of little trap puzzle thing on the staircase. Really act like this is going to be kind of a slow burn dungeon crawl, and then kind of drop the hammer when we get to the big cave. Because again, big cave, if it's empty, if you've got a big area with no enemies in it, it's going to be a big fight at some point. You just know. And that doesn't take away the joy of that big fight. That's the key. Like it's coming, but it's still going to be fun. All right, I think that will do it for this Monday edition of Crafting the Deep. If you enjoy the content, please check out patreon.com/Rogue Watson. Shouts to Platinum patrons Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brandon, Genocider, Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Scott, Eric, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Crystal Lake Counselor, Andrew, Daryl, the Reldrun, Captain Woody 79, Stephanie, Andy, Patrick, Jason, and Ishmael. And gold patrons, RPG, Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, Newmet, Does Lounge, Sam, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Paz, Tortoise, Scott, Rufus, Carolyn, Jerry, Thomas, and Glenn. Thank you all very much for your support. I will see you again for my last pre-holiday crafting stream on Thursday.